Dream Doors, your new dream kitchen for a whole lot less. dreamdoors.com.au.
Sunny today and 30 degrees for Adelaide, 33 over the weekend, 35 on Monday, partly cloudy, 29 Tuesday, the same and 20 on Wednesday, sunny again Thursday, 24, right now 10 degrees. More news as it happens on 5AA.
Power your next adventure in a Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo from 46k drive away. Don't hold back. Visit your local Jeep dealer today. This is 5AA Breakfast.
Morning everyone, it's 6:36. We've got Selwyn Manning in just a tick, but at around about 10 to 7 we'll be heading to the US, David.
Yeah, that's right. The pretty grim news overnight yet again. How often do we come in here first thing in the morning to discuss the fact that there's been another one of these shootings in the US? The really sad thing now, guys, is that if it's 2 or 3 people, it barely rates a mention. You know,
it has to get to double digits for it to actually kind of go out there and be on the internet and everything first thing.
Yeah, that's right. And look, obviously this is going to kick the gun debate along further in the US, even though, you know, given the power of the National Rifle Association, you can't actually see it resulting in any policy change. But as Mark said, at 6:50 we'll get all the latest from Richard Arnold, because the death toll sounds like it is rising. It's now being reported on Australian news sites that 13 people have been shot dead at this college in a small rural town in Oregon. Presumably most of them are young people, you know, in the prime of their lives, you know, studying at uni. And, yeah, a lone gunman who is in police custody. Not clear whether he was shot dead as a result of the police reaction to his actions, but we'll get all the latest from Richard at 6:50.
6:38.
It's time now to head across the ditch, though, to talk to our good friend Selwyn Manning, who is the editor of EveningReport.nz. Selwyn, good morning, mate, and thanks for your time. Now, we've spoken a couple of times about the flag debate in New Zealand and this push by the Key government to look at the question as to whether New Zealand should change its flag. Quite bizarrely, Justin Bieber has weighed into the debate.
Yeah, he has, Dave. Very, very strange kind of interview that he did yesterday. But yes, he's in Auckland putting on what he's referring to as an intimate concert to 150 people. He performed that last night. They competed for it, apparently. But yeah, in November, New Zealanders get to vote on that referendum that you mentioned there. And after checking out the options of our flag, Justin Bieber, he said, "Are you guys not confident in your flag?" And he said, "It looks fine to me." So there was his official endorsement. And then perhaps a gesture to reinforce his sincerity before heading off to go bungee jumping and skydiving. A very friendly Justin Bieber, he handed over a pair of signed underpants.
Gee, I hope his mum had washed them before he handed them over.
Well, thankfully it was before he went bungee jumping and not afterwards, perhaps. But apparently the Calvin Klein briefs will be given away on the radio station's Facebook page today.
Aww.
So if you guys want to have a go at securing them, maybe you'll be able to get a chance.
I shudder to think what second prize is, mate. You get a pair of his socks as well. Hey, what is the latest on the referendum? So it's happening in November. Yep. And the first part of the question is there are 4 different flag designs, aren't there? So the first vote is on which of the 4 is the preferred design, and then there's going to be another vote after that, isn't there?
That's right, yeah. So there's 5 now. They changed the law. It went through Parliament last week to include red peak, it's referred to, and that was a popular choice by the population here, apparently. So they've shoved that into the referendum that in November.
Oh, so they added that, did they? Because that was the one that didn't originally make the cut, but people were mounting a rearguard action to have it included. Yeah.
So they had to put it through, change the actual law. It was bizarre. But anyway, yeah, the referendum is stacked around the other way. It says which one, which one of these do you like? And then another referendum in March will put that particular choice of those new options up against the current flag.
So that'll be a straight, should we change the flag, yes or no?
Yeah.
And so what's the general feeling? Are people keen to do this?
Not really. Most people are pretty asleep on it. Around the controversy around the red peak, trying to get that included, there's been a lot of hype around that, and people are polling fairly strongly for that. You know, New Zealand Herald showed around about 70% wanting that new red peak flag, and only about 28% polling for the current one. But what will happen in the final referendums is anyone's guess. It really is a situation where the Prime Minister wanted a new logo, basically, and the country is kind of having to pay up $26 million to satisfy his competition here.
And has it coincided with some sort of re-emergence of the Republican debate as well? Because presumably a lot of the impetus for changing the flag is that it's got a ruddy big Union Jack stuck in the top left-hand corner of it.
Yeah, well, a lot of people that would want a debate on whether or not New Zealand should become more independent from England are feeling pretty disillusioned by all of this, because there is nothing behind that. That's the problem in many people's minds, that this particular current government is more monarchistic than any that we've had in the last two generations. So it's really just a bit of new gloss on a particular brand that the Prime Minister is trying to push there. Those that are aspiring for more independence there will have to wait for a change of government for sure.
Yeah. Selwyn Manning, always great to catch up. Selwyn is the editor of EveningReport.nz, and we talk to him every Friday. Thank